When I last left you, I was playing the El Capitan Hotel in Van Horn. There was nothing left to do but load out in the morning, and today was definitely the day I am leaving Texas. It's been 35 days in this state. It's been somewhat good to me and a couple bad days, but a mixed bag nonetheless. But all in all, not too bad. This morning's plan was to head north up on Highway 54 through the Guadalupe Mountains of North Texas and into New Mexico. Try to get as close to the Carlsbad Caverns as I can so I could visit that the next day.
So from what the locals tell me, this drive up to Guadalupe Mountain National Park is a slow, gradual grade upward. We're definitely going to test the old Chevy here and see what she's made of. I have a feeling we might have to turn around and head back into El Paso and skirt this drive, but this is going to be a good test, see what happens. So here we go. I got this feeling we might be headed into New Mexico pretty soon. Maybe like right now.
Welcome to New Mexico.
Welcome to New Mexico. Goodbye, Texas. You've been good to me. Except for Terlanga. Terlanga was a bitch. This is Sunset Reef, just inside the New Mexico border from the north end of Texas. So we got a few sharp stones here to navigate. Be very careful which ones you hit, which ones you don't hit.
Sunset Reef was nothing fancy, basically just a dusty old parking lot with a covered awning and a picnic table, but sometimes that's all you need. Short drive to Carlsbad in the morning.
So just left the dispersed camping area just over the Guadalupe Mountains. Headed to Carlsbad Caverns this morning for a little cavern tour. Then I'm going to move on up to Roswell, hang a left, and there's a dispersed camping area about 2.5 hours from here. Gear up, get some groceries, got no coffee, got no food, times are hard.
I was actually thinking of skipping Carlsbad Caverns, but I'm glad I didn't. For number one, it was free with my America the Beautiful pass. It didn't cost me a penny, and it was right on the way. But my God, when I went underneath there, all these rooms, some of them were big as houses, and it's one of those places where the camera just doesn't do it justice. But I wanted to play my guitar in every one of them.
Well, kids, today was kind of a shit day. Started out awesome, woke up to very cool temperatures. Neighbor gave me a cup of coffee because I was out. Took a little 20-minute drive to Carlsbad Caverns, and it was incredible. Glad I stopped. I almost bypassed it, but free admission for me, 62 and over, with my senior America the Beautiful pass. But when I went out and left and went to start my car, it fired for just a second and then just cranked and cranked and cranked and cranked. And I've been having issues with what I suspected was Vaporlock. Not good. Not good. And what Vaporlock is in these old cars, with the fuel underneath the hood, especially in the lines near the carburetor or the lines that are exposed, get super hot. Even if it's just sitting in the sun and they get hot, which this was, the fuel actually turns into vapor and creates almost like an air bubble in the line of just vapor and not a liquid. So you're not getting any liquid to the carburetor took the air cleaner off. The carburetor was bone dry. I jumped on Google and they said to try to cool the airlines by pouring cold water on them. So I poured cold water on the on some towels and wrapped the carburetor and wrapped the lines going into the carburetor, even wrapped the coil, and that didn't work. So then I started asking the parks people if they had a maintenance department that could maybe give me a bit of gasoline to pour into the carburetor, maybe out of their weed whacker or a mower or trimmer. Of course, that was like, oh no, we can't let you go back there. Oh no. And then lo and behold, I'm asking this crew inside in the caverns department there and behind the counter, and I'm wearing a Gulfstream shirt because I changed into my Gulfstream shirt because I was getting greasy, and that's about all they're good for these days. And this guy says, "You work for Gulfstream?" And I said, "Yeah, I used to." And he says, "Yeah, I heard your problem." He says, "I got a Harley out here." I says, if you got a rubber hose, you can put it in the tank and get you some gas, and maybe we can pour it down the carb and get enough suction and vacuum to have a run for a second to pull that air bubble through and get gas." Which is what we did. So the only thing that wasn't working on this car when I left were the window washers. I put new rubber hoses on everything, but it was the pump. So I knew I had brand new rubber hoses on my window washers. So I yanked that rubber hose off my window washer. He came rolling in with his Harley. I siphoned out a coffee cup full of fuel and took my tablespoon and dished about 3 or 4 tablespoons into the carb, and she fired right up, and I was golden. Took a couple pictures with this man and shook his hand and said thank you, but it was a 3-hour ordeal. I was kind of just waiting for it to cool, but it was just sitting in the baking sun, and I couldn't move it. And, it looked like it was going to be another catastrophe type of day, but in the end, it all worked out. But the bad part is I got a late start on my jump to my next camp, so I had to drive in the heat. So I drove straight up through Carlsbad into Roswell, and I don't give a fuck about Roswell aliens or anything. That town is a shithole. I fucking turned left and started headed west immediately. So I got about an hour or so maybe to go. The sun's going down. I'm gonna go ahead and let you see that here. I'm gonna switch camera views. Yeah, she's starting to go down. I think I'm starting to climb in elevation as well, which is fine, man. I can't do this heat anymore. I don't know how people live in this desert. I mean, I guess when it does rain, it can be really pretty, full of wildflowers and all that kind of stuff, but every creek and every river I went by is bone dry, and it is just desolate. It's blowing, it's dusty, and I don't see how anybody lives out here. I've got nothing really that good to say about it. It's nice to see the mountains and some hills, but I prefer green mountains and green hills like Seattle. So anyways, that's what's going on. We are climbing, and I'm gonna crest this hill in a bit. I'll stop the camera after I crest the hill and see what our vista's like. But yeah, we're coming into some mountains, and we're gonna test the old Chevy, but hopefully we can get into some cooler weather. I think that'll eliminate this Vaporlock thing, but in the meantime, I'm gonna keep me a little bottle of gasoline in the trunk, and just in case I need to do this same trick again. So that's all I got, kids, and but still no major catastrophes, nothing catastrophic with the car, just a few quirks and the double blowout I had at Terlinga, but she's doing all right. I'm doing all right. We're getting west. We're out of Texas, and yeah, can't complain. So, remember when I said this car's probably going to go down roads it shouldn't go down? This be one of them. Yeah, this just keeps on getting creepier and creepier. 5.7 miles down this Washburn dirt road to this campsite. But I'll tell you what, it is going to be a clear night, and I am going to see stars like you ain't never seen. Just got to get there without blowing a tire. And patience is what you need right now. And after the day I had, I don't have much patience. I just want to park it, crawl in bed, go to sleep. Well, be careful what you wish for. I was tired of the Texas heat and got up to Roswell and climbed up to Lincoln. I'm probably, I think I'm about 5,700 feet of elevation, and I am in some campground called Baca Campground just outside of Lincoln, and it is 46 degrees. So I had to wake up in the middle of the night and throw some socks and some extra clothes on, but I have a feeling this place is going to be fairly cool looking. I came in the night last night. It was dark. Had the issue with Vaporlock on the car that set me back, but let's see what we got out here today.
This truly was a remarkable campsite. The beauty I woke up to in the morning was unparalleled, wide open spaces, hard to even imagine. Almost hated to leave, but it was time to go, and the only thing I had left to do was to navigate the cows.